where they want to be beloved of men. uh, Women want to be loved by men, whereas people like Estrogen want to be loved by men in general, humans, individuals of the society, members of the society. We account it ominous if nature do produce a colt, a lamb, a fawn, a goat, in any limb resembling a man, and fly from it as a prodigy. Man stands amazed to see his deformity in any other creature but himself. We are very quick to point out to the deformities when it comes into the offsprings of animals. But once these deformities are found in the offsprings of men, we don't do that. We don't do the same thing. We are not amazed the way we are by looking at the deformities of animals. What he has to say in here is, I will read from the annotations I have here. Observe my meditation with this injunction, which is reinforced by a shift from prose to verse. Of course, this was all in prose, and after he says, I will meditate, this is all in poetry, verse. Bosola moves from a run of the mill satirical attack on lawyers, women, and cosmetics to a fundamental critique of the human condition. The term meditation signals the introspective, implicitly religious nature of the passage which follows, and also it is a dark vision of the brevity and nastiness of human existence. And then he calls about various diseases that we have. We name the diseases by animals. Where is it? But when we see such
Also,
deformities in ourselves, but in our own flesh, though we bear diseases which have their true names only taken from beasts, as the most ulcerous wolf, swinish, measles. The annotation says there is a disease called a wolf because it consumes and eats up the flesh in the body next to the sore, and must every day be fed with fresh meat. The other one is measles. Webster says that the common human disease of measles, earlier used in the singular measles, was given the name of a skin disease in swine caused by tapeworm. Thus, measles, human measles, and a disease in swine, both etymologically confused with measle, which means leprous, skin ailment,
April.
leprous skin ailment, because lupus in Latin means wolf and
Wolf.
ulcer both. You have the same annotations in your text?
No, ma'am.
And after that, having completed this about physicians and doctors, do not miss this out. This is very important to the text. The disease is very important to the text because there is another disease which will be associated with the wolf, and one of the characters will be afflicted by it.
Lycanthropia. Didn't.
I am still on Act 2. Your teacher must be on Act 4, but my class
नो
is.
मैम, ये यहाँ पे लिख कर है, मैं इधर एनोटेशन से पढ़ के बोल रही हूँ, और हम एक्ट 3 पे, ये 4 पे भी नहीं
Okay,
होता,
so
गलत
nobody
हो
is
गया.
afflicted with that disease yet?
नो
You
मैम.
don't know.
वी
Somebody
डोंट नो.
will be afflicted by that. Lycanthropia, yes. And then we move on. So, though we are eaten up by lice and worms, and though continually we bear about us a rotten and dead body, we delight to hide it in rich tissue. All our fair, nay, all our terror is, lest our physician should put us in the ground to be made sweet. Put in the ground to be made sweet.
प्रोसेस ऑफ डिकम्पोजिशन मतलब लाइक मरने के बाद अगर डालेंगे किसी
But
इंसान को ना,
why?
तो वो हिज सिंस, क्या उसको बोलते हैं, एक वर्ड होता है,
Yeah.
जिससे उससे, मैं मुझे दिमाग में है लेकिन मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है क्या.
Assimilation.
आवाज कट रही है.
Assimilation and dissimilation.
दैट वाज नॉट दिमाग में मेरे, बट ओके.
What are you talking about then? The
आई
decomposition. But why made sweet?
he is talking मतलब after a man dies, so ना मुझे समझाना नहीं आ रहा है, मुझे नहीं.
Okay.
वर्ड्स
So
फॉर्मुलेट करने आ रहे
your rotten body, otherwise, if you don't take care of these diseases, the physician will be very quick to put you into the ground, and finally you are dead. And your wife is gone to Rome, and then after you are dead, your wife goes to Rome. Rome is the city that is still considered to be the holy city by.
हैं.
Where is Rome?
कैथलिक्स,
Where is
इटली.
Rome? Yes, Catholic Christians. Where is Rome?
वेटिकन सिटी, इटली, उस ना बीच में कहीं.
What is the name of the country? Oh, sorry. Yeah, what's the name of the country?
वेटिकन, वेटिकन सिटी, नेम ऑफ द कंट्री.
Country is Vatican
वेटिकन.
City.
हाँ, पता नहीं, मैंने जब मैं पढ़ रही थी बुक में तब सर्च किया था, वेटिकन ही था शायद, पता नहीं, मुझे गलत याद है, हो सकता है.
This is why geography is very important. Unless and until you have a comparison where I stand and where they are, you will not have a clear idea of things. Where Rome was, where Rome is.
इटली, रोम.
Italy, Rome, not Vatican City, Rome.
वेटिकन कहाँ है फिर? वेटिकन में है ना कहीं, मतलब ऑब्वियसली वहाँ बहुत सारी जगह है, मतलब.
I asked for the country. Rome is the capital of.
इटली,
Yeah.
इटली वो मैंने पहले बोला था.
This is Rome. This is Italia, but this is an old map. The map we use now must be.
रोम. मैम वो फिर कौन सी वो सिटी है, मतलब सिटी नहीं है, वो एक कंट्री का नाम है, लेकिन वो उसके नाम के एंड में सिटी आता है. मुझे उसी से याद पड़ा कि शायद वेटिकन सिटी है फॉर सम रीजन, लेकिन इससे पहले वो था इटली है.
The
कुछ था
smallest
वो,
country
पता
of the
नहीं.
world.
ओके.
इसमें अभी का मैप नहीं है. Let's find out some of the map. Anyway, मैं दिखाना चाहती वो नहीं दिखता है इसमें. Okay, yeah. So if you can see Rome here, but these
यस
are
मैम.
old names that have been used. Look at this, 44 BC to 117 CE. Okay, what you are hearing about these days is about
पैलेस्टीन,
this.
मैं यही बोलने वाली थी.
This is Jerusalem here,
यस मैम.
Damascus, Syria, Antioch, Arabia, Mesopotamia. Assyria is now Syria, Egypt.
और शेक्सपियर के एक प्ले में भी है लिख के पैलेस्टीन के
हर
बारे में,
जगह में
मतलब
आपको
एक
मिलेगा
गाइड
because they had quite a good knowledge about these places because they could travel all these places from Britain.
में.
Why are they traveling from Britain to Rome? Because again, this is that Renaissance age when they are going, when they are trying to dig at the Greek and Roman history. Greek and Roman history is all that they are able to find here in these parts. And Then it travels. This Renaissance movement travels to these parts. These are
mm,
these have Germany, Scandinavia, um, and Denmark, France. It moves to these places, and then it goes into Britain. Okay, so there's a westward kind of literature moving towards the west. And you also find that there is a lot of influence of Islamic tradition in this literature, but this is only recently, after the 19th century, then this was wiped out from literatures. The reason was that Britain wanted the establishment of, or it's not just Britain, it's actually the what are known as crusades. The first, second, and third crusade. They are the people who wanted Muslims, Islamic tradition to be wiped out because they were not able to fight. And finally, these crusades came to an end finally with the Ottoman Empire that came from
Turkey.
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 That's not
Mm.
here in the map. Yeah, this is Turkey.
Where is it?
This is Turkey
और ये
near
border
Black
पे
Sea. So this Ottoman Empire was able to cover all these parts: Egypt, Arabia, Mesopotamia, various other parts. And since their influence was very high, what the Crusaders wanted to do after that, now that they had lost the land, they wanted to invade onto the culture, invade onto the literature, and wanted to portray Muslims, Islam in the bad light, negative light. It continued for very long, but this is not the time period. The time period is after 1000. Moving back to the text, and then she will travel to Rome, you two couple, and get you to the wells at Lucca to recover your aches and for you to get well. What will they do? Because of the terror that you will die. Lucca is a famous spa, a place of spa. Bosola refers to
mm,
this as a place where they have mineral springs for venereal diseases, and this will
वही
recover
होगा
people from their aches. And I have other work on foot. I have something else to do. Accent, history show, and old lady. They say nothing. They say nothing. They listen to it. They listen to the final meditation in verse and they go. They don't say anything because maybe why?
क्योंकि बसोला जो बोलता है मतलब मे बी उनके हिसाब से वो सही बोल रहा होता है और उनके पास अब कोई जवाब नहीं बचता है
Because there
देने
is
के
no
लिए उसको
disagreement. They need not to say anything in agreement either.
हम्म,
And finally, after he has said this, he says this to himself. There is nobody else on stage. I observe our Duchess is sick, ladies. These days I have found that our Duchess is sick. And then he says, I have seen her puking. I have seen her stomach is seething, growing bigger. I've also seen the fins of her eyelids look most steaming blue. Fins, the rims, the
eyelid
sides, edges, not the sides, fins,
अच्छा
edges.
जी
The edges of her eyelid look steaming blue because it's believed that this happens to pregnant women. Their edges of the eyelid turn blue. She veins in the cheek. Veins, she's growing
fuller full cheeks maybe
weak.
and
Veins in the cheek. Waxes fat in the flank. चेहरे से कमजोर और flank से the other part of the body growing fat.
fat
And contrary to our Italian fashion, what she wears is a loose bodied gown. There is somewhat in it. In it, he hints at it.
she's hiding something
I have a trick. May chance discover it. A pretty one. I have bought some apricots. The first are spring yields. It was believed that apricots induce labor pains.
labor pains
And he gives the same to Duchess to prove if what he hints at, what he thinks has happened, is true. He's already working on the job that he has been given. He is a spy. He has to look at he has to keep an eye who comes to the Duchess, wooes her, or comes to ask her for marriage, and if she does marry anyone at all. Because the brothers already have a hunch that she might get married in secret. Now enters Antonio and Delio talking together apart. Together apart means
um, I don't know. मतलब एक दूसरे से बात कर रहे हैं लेकिन
अभी दूर
दिखाने के लिए वो बात कर रहे
दूर
हैं अच्छा
दूर है
ओके
एक दूसरे से. Delio says, and so long since married, you amaze me. Let's play the part, but I'll continue to play Antonio. Whatever the changes in the characters are, you will keep on doing that. But before starting
ओके
on changing your character, say your name that you're playing Delio or you are playing Bosona. Begin.
I am playing Delio. Okay, Delio. And so long since married, you amaze me.
Let me seal your lips forever. For did I think that anything but the air could carry these words from you? I should wish you had no breath at all. Now, sir, in your contemplation, you are studying to become a great wise fellow.
Oh, sir, the opinion of wisdom is foul tether that runs all over a man's body. If simplicity directs us to have no evil, it directs us to a happy ending, happy being. For the subtlest folly precedes from the subtlest wisdom. Let me simply be honest.
I do understand your insight.
Do you so?
Because you would not seem to appear to the world puffed up with your preferment, you continue this out of fashion melancholy. Leave it, leave it.
Give me leave to be honest in any phase, in any compliment whatsoever. Shall I confess myself to you? I look no higher than I can reach. They are the gods that must ride on winged horses, a lawyer's mule of a slow pace, which both suit my disposition and business. For mark me, when a man's mind rides faster than his horse can gallop, they quickly both tire.
You would look up to heaven, but I think the devil that rules in the air stands in your light.
Oh, sir, you are lord of the ascendant, chief man with the duchess. A duke was your cousin German, removed. Say you were lineally descended from King Pippin or he himself. What of this? Search the heads of the greatest rivers in the world. You shall find them but bubbles of water. Some would think the souls of princes were brought forth by some more weighty cause, uh, cause than those of meaner persons. They are deceived. There's the same hand to them, the like passions sway them, the same reasons that make a vicar go to law for
A tiddy pig.
for the for a pig and undo his neighbors, make them spoil a whole province and batter down goodly cities with the cannon.
Enter Duchess and ladies. And there is that old lady as well. Before that, what do you think they are doing in this dialogue?
Um, starts है ना मतलब डेलियो से
Yeah.
डेलियो काफी टाइम बाद मिलता है एंटोनियो से और फिर उसको पूछता है कि मतलब ओके दे आर अभी भी मैरिड एंड ही सरप्राइज तो फिर एंटोनियो उसको बोलता है कि वो किसी और के सामने ये बात ना करे क्योंकि इट विल कॉज बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स अगर वो ये बोलेगा उससे बेहतर है कि उसके मुंह से कोई मतलब ना वो मर ही जाए लेकिन ये बात कहीं से पता ना चले वैसा फिर बीच में वो सुला आता है मतलब मैम वो सुला इज ओवर हियरिंग कन्वर्सेशन कहीं ना कहीं मतलब हो सकता है ना
Ursula was already there on the stage, and Antonio and Delio only enter. So Antonio doesn't want Ursula to hear this. And Ursula then pretends that he didn't know you were coming. Oh, sir, as if he didn't see. But he has seen them already coming. Oh, sir. Knocked here, I think, before this. Yeah. Let me seal your lip. And here he says, now, sir, in your contemplation, you are thinking, you're contemplating to yourself because he is talking to himself and he is talking about the Duchess. You are studying to become a great wise fellow. Oh, sir, the opinion of wisdom is a foul teta that runs all over a man's body. In this time, this idea of wisdom, gaining wisdom, is because they wanted to empower their minds and disempower their bodies, because this was the knowledge that had come from the Greeks and the Romans, to empower their minds and disempower their bodies. This is why Busola talks to Hisrisho and asks him not to eat too much in the night, because they wanted to disempower their bodies so that wisdom would rule over all other faculties. And Antonio knows that he is trying to do the same thing and be one day a ruler or a prince or a duke of something, just rise in his status. That's only if he has wisdom and he's able to do that, and he is learning about it. And after that, what Vasola has to tell him in return is that it is but a teta.
Kindrash.
Vasola speaks.
मैम आपने कुछ बोला?
The opinion of the wisdom is a foul teta. The teta, the book says, is scur.
तो
Is
annotations में है
foul
Kindrash.
is a foul thing that runs all over a man's body. If simplicity directs us to have no evil, it directs us to happy being. For the subtlest folly proceeds from the subtlest wisdom. Let me be simple, honest. So the opinion he has about wisdom is that wisdom is not that will ultimately always lead you to something good, which generally was the opinion of the people, that wisdom will ultimately lead you to something good in your life if you empower your minds. He says no, that's not the thing. Sometimes it's the wisdom that runs from your mind down into your body and spoils it all over. And I think the same thing happens with Basola ultimately, because he makes use of too much of wisdom. If people tend to live simply without being very, very wise enough in each and everything and direct themselves in simple manners, there will be no evil left in them, because it will direct them to a happy being. It's only the simple people who can live a happy life, not people of wisdom alone. Or he says, the subtlest folly, the keenest attended folly that a man attempts, comes from wisdom. If a man makes too much use of wisdom, say for example, these the cyber crimes that you are getting to know about these days, the cyber crimes are the crimes that are controlled, subtlest follies. You have to put in all your mind and brain into these crimes that you have to commit. So he says, subtlest crimes require subtlest wisdom. Let me be simple, honest. I better want to have a simple and honest life than a life of wisdom. I do understand your insight. मैं तुम्हारी अंतड़ियों में हूँ. I do understand your inside. I know what you are up to from your inside and what you are talking with your mouth. Your mouth is in one place and your liver is elsewhere. I do understand your insight. Do you so? Because you would not seem to appear to the world puffed up with your preferment. You continue this old, out of fashion melancholy. Leave it. Before he enters into detailing what he has said, that I understand your insight, he stops halfway through. That
Hmm.
your melancholy is only an appearance. Your reality is totally the opposite of it. We'll figure out if
Hmm.
Antonio was all through the while right about Basola or not.
Yes.
What do you think?
No, obviously he is right about Bosola क्योंकि उसको फर्डिनेंड ने बोला होता है कि अपना गांव ऑफ मेलनकोली बना के रखे ताकि किसी को उस पर शक ना हो और वो लोगों की बातें ओवरहेयर कर सके और लोगों को लगे ये तो ऐसा ही है वो सब होगा.
And leave it. Despite the fact that he
Yes.
knows it, is he able to check it? Let's see. Give me leave to be honest in any phrase, in any compliment whatsoever. Shall I confess myself to you? I look no higher than I can reach. They are the gods that must ride on winged horses. So I'm not a beggar who wishes to ride on a winged horse. I'm just a simple man who doesn't look beyond what he can reach at. A lawyer's mule of a slow pace will both suit my disposition and business. For mark me, he says, I don't require to ride on a winged horse with a very high speed. But I can live with a lawyer's mule whose mule is very slow paced, doesn't reach a very high degree. Again, he associates himself with the lawyer. You already saw what does he say about the people who wear nightcaps? That people will not always have a good opinion of theirs, even if they do good. Maybe the same happens with Basola. So I would like to have a slow pace. I will go slow. And my disposition, it will suit my disposition the way I am because he is melancholic, so his pace is slow. It will suit his slow pace. His disposition will, needs to have a mule instead. And even my business is also slow. So therefore, I can keep a mule. For mark me, when a man's mind rides faster than his horse can gallop, they quickly both time. What he talks about is pure, pure wisdom. Wisdom will do the same thing to him that he said it does. Snatch him off his
ना
happiness.
मेरी लाइन नहीं है इधर.
Which one?
अच्छा हाँ है हाँ.
पर है वो
मैं
नीचे है,
गलत डायलॉग लिख
वो
रही.
टायर
यस हाँ.
नीचे है ये ऊपर है. It's
हम्म.
pure wisdom, opinion of wisdom. And he is not therefore living a simple life because he is making use of his mind too much. By keeping slow, he works like a slow poison. You would look up to heaven, but I think the devil that rules in the air stands in your light. What does that mean? It means the sky is here, the sky is on top of you, you are on the on earth's surface, but what comes in between the two is the devil that rules
हम्म.
over you. Oh sir, you are lord of the ascendant. Lord of the ascendant means you have a
Um,
dominating influence of the
Dominant
stars and the
influence.
planets. You have the influence of the planets. The planets are in your favor. Chief man with the duchess, because you are the man with the duchess. You have a good ride, a good steed. You have a good fortune. You have everything is in your favor. A duke was your cousin, German removed. A duke was your cousin, German removed means he was your first cousin, only once removed. He was a duke, which means you also are of high blood. Say you were lineally descended from King Pepin, or he himself, what of this? King Pepin was
King
the
Pepin, King of Franks and father of Charlemagne.
Charlemagne was the man that
Charlemagne.
was associated because of his chivalry. I think I have discussed this in the lectures in history. Like we had Arthurian legends in Britain. Arthurian legends
Yes,
in Britain.
ma'am.
In France, we have the legends of Charlemagne. Like in
Charlemagne.
Sparta, we have
Sham.
Charlemagne in France. So Charlemagne
Hmm.
was a very great king. So he says you directly are a descendant of Charlemagne. What of this? What do you think of this? Search the heads of the greatest rivers in the world, you shall find them but bubbles of water. Some would think the souls of princes were brought forth by some more weighty cause than those of meaner persons. What's he talking about? Again, something is learned out of myth and legends that this is where you come from. You are the sources of rivers of the world. You come forth from the sources, whereas the rest of the people, the ordinary people, have,
Branches are tributaries.
you have more weighty cause to come to the world than we
Hmm.
ordinary people are. They are deceived. There is the same hand to them, the same hand of the God who makes you and I. The like passions sway them, the same reason that makes a vicar go to law for a tiddy pig and undo his neighbors makes them spoil a whole province and batter down goodly steeds with the cannon. So he talks about the souls of princes, how they are different from people who are mean, who deceive men on earth. And he tells you that this there is must not be the same hand that makes good and bad people in the world. He's talking about God. He is talking about good and evil nature. Basola is talking about what Webster wants to draw attention to in his play itself. They are deceived, there is the same hand to them. Like passion sway them. The same reason that makes a vicar go to law for a tiddy pig and undo his neighbors makes them spoil a whole province and batter down goodly steeds with the cannon. Not everyone has the same soul. Soul. The souls of men are different. And if they are deceived who believe that one God makes them all, the same hand makes them all. A vicar going to get a tiddy pig. Tiddy pig is tiddy. Oh, what's a tiddy? Who paid the
Hmm.
tiddies? Common men would pay. Tiddy was considered to be a tax of a pig. A pig would be given as a tax to the churchmen. So this was considered to be in this time, in 17th century. Now Chidi is associated simply after Chaucer. Chaucer brings this out that churchmen take tiddies. They say they are serving God, but instead these tiddies are not taxes, but they are bribes. So he talks about vicar go to the law for a bribe and undo his neighbors means snatch them of their rights, makes them spoil a whole province. Spoiling the province means giving passing judgments in favor of the wrong people, and batter down goodly steeds with the cannon means being violent against
Good.
civilians.
Hmm. Hmm.
Batter down goodly steeds with the cannon.
कैनन वो होता है ना तोप
Hmm. Being violent
तो
against ordinary common people, civilians who cannot fight back. Let's play Duchess and Desola. I'll also play Antonio in between. Quick.
I'll play the Dutch.
Okay.
Enter Duchess and with attendants. Duchess, your arm, Antonio. Do I not go fat? I'm exceeding short-winded. Bosola, I would have you, sir, provide me with litter, such a one as the Duchess of Florence rode in.
The Duchess used one when she was great with child.
I think she did. Come hither, mend my ruff. Here, when? Thou art such a tedious lady, and thy breath smells of lemon peels. Would thou had this done? Shall I swoon under thy fingers? I am so troubled with the mother.
Aside, I fear too much.
I have heard I have heard you say that French courtiers wear their hats on before the king
I have seen it.
in the presence.
Yes.
Why should not we bring up that fashion, this ceremony more than duty that consists in removing of a piece of felt? Be you the example of the rest of the court. Put on your hat first.
You must pardon me. I have seen in older countries than in France. Nobles stand bare to the prince, and distinction methought showed reverently. I have a present for your grace.
For me, sir?
Apricots, madam.
Oh, sir, where are they? I have heard none to hear.
Good, her color rises.
Indeed, I thank you. They are wondrous fair ones. What an unskilful fellow is our gardener. We shall have none this month.
Will not your grace spare them?
No, they haste of musk,
Taste
methinks.
of musk.
Indeed,
What's
they
wrong with
do.
you? They taste of musk.
Sorry. They taste of musk, methinks. Indeed, they do.
I know not, yet I wish your grace had paid them.
Why?
I forgot to tell you, the knave gardener, only to raise his profit by them the sooner, did ride them in horse dung.
Oh, you jest. You shall judge. They taste fun.
Indeed, madam, I do not love the fruit.
Sir, you are loath to rob us from our dainties. This delicate fruit, they say, they are restorative.
Tis a pretty art. This is craft.
This so bettering of nature.
To make a pippin grow upon a crab, a damson on a blackthorn. How greedily she eats them. A whirlwind strike of these bored farthingales, for but for that and loose-bodied gown, I should have discovered apparently the young springle cutting a caper in her belly. This is all an aside.
I thank.
I must reread that.
Okay.
They are talking about grafting and how grafting is used to make better fruit. The Duchess says, "'Tis so a bettering of nature, Basola, to make a pippin grow upon a crab, a damson on a blackthorn." It's like, how greedily she eats them. A whirlwind strike off these broad nails, but for that. And the loose-bodied gown I should have discovered apparently the young springald cutting a caper in her belly.
I thank you, Vasola. They were right good ones. If they do not make me sick.
How now, madam?
The screen fruit and my stomach are not friends. How they swell me.
Nay, you are too much swelled already.
Oh, I'm in extreme cold sweat. I'm very sorry. Oh,
I'm very sorry. Excellent.
lights to my chamber. Oh, good Antonio, I fear I'm undone.
Lights there, lights. Excellent, Duchess and ladies. Oh, my trusty Delio, we are lost. I fear she has fallen in labor and there is left no time for her remove.
Have you prepared those ladies to attend her and procured that politic safe conveyance for the midwife your Duchess plotted?
I have.
Make use then of this forced occasion. Give out Ursula hath poisoned her with these apricots. That will give some color for keeping her close.
Fie, physicians will then flock to her.
For that you may pretend she'll use some prepared antidote of her own, lest the physician should repoison her.
I'm lost in amazement. I know not what to think on it. Excellent. Okay, anything you think was there about of importance and that we must discuss? I think there is nothing.
Hmm.
If you think there is anything that must be discussed, tell me and we can discuss.
मैम ऐसे अभी कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है ये सारा आसानी से समझ आ गया
Yeah.
और हाँ ये आसानी
Yeah, this is easy. This is only the first plot that Busola plays against the Duchess, that he induces the labor pains in the Duchess, and Antonio Delio
Duchess.
are not well prepared uh, about this
Hmm.
labor. And also, Busola is very sure that the Duchess is pregnant, but the next task is who's the father? I think the next one will also be very smooth to go with. I
हाँ नेक्स्ट वाला ये शायद
Do
क्योंकि
you
मैंने
want to
प्रेजेंटेशन
continue?
के लिए थोड़ा पढ़ा था ओके
If you want to, then you need to give me 10 to 15 minutes. I need to get a cup of tea for myself and I'm recording it.